Hey everybody, this is Chris Holcomb, and yes, it is Terrific Tuesday, and I have another fantastic video as I am always out and about in Detroit. Sometimes I like the same place, I'll be honest. However, what I want to give you guys today is pretty much a, I guess 4, maybe 5 quick points on protecting your vacant home in the Detroit market. Pretty much, as I said before, every Tuesday we're dropping these videos brand new out the box. I'm cracking open the pyrofoam, getting into it, and grabbing the new video. And here it is for you guys. So let's get right into it. I'll say 4, but it's going to be probably 5 key points on protecting your vacant house in Detroit. I think I did a video on this before about different types, but this is just pretty much if you are buying a property in Detroit and you know it's going to be a buy and hold, a flip, wholesale, sometimes you got to protect those properties. Unless you're wholesaling in the same day, once you buy it, you're selling it, then you don't need to do it. But if you're going to have it as inventory or hold on to it as a wholesaler, know it's going to take a couple of days, you don't want your property sitting there and then the neighborhood friends come through and start vandalizing your property. It's not good. So here we go. Number 1, the biggest thing I would say is network. You wonder why. Primarily, I would say you want to network with other investors in your area, people in your neighborhood, to just know what's going on in your neighborhood. Secondly, with other investors, if they invest in the neighborhood, they could tell you how that neighborhood is, what's probably the best resource to use to protect your property, and that just gives you a better insight. Instead of you recreating the wheel, you're pretty much picking off where they left off on, which minimizes your error. So I think that's a great tool to use. If you don't know or you haven't networked with other investors that do investments in Detroit, you should. Number 2, one of the primary I guess processes of protecting vacant homes in Detroit, outside Detroit, is boarding up the property. There's a lot of companies that does the boarding up. You can just look probably and Google that, or talk to, like I say, other investors, or do it yourself. There got to be YouTube videos on how to board up a property. There's several different techniques. You can just board it up with OSB, with straight thin plywood boarding on each window. More than likely, when people do the process, or a company does it, or if you do it yourself, you're only going to do the first floor, because most people are not trying to get to the second floor. It has been done, but that's a little rare. You really, whatever you're doing to protect your vacant home is a deterrent, so they don't go to your home and they go somewhere else. So boarding up is one of the key ways. You can board it, like I say, that way, or there's some people that use 2x4s from the inside and latch it through to board up it, where it can't just be yanked off and removed. Those are different processes with boarding up. So that's the number 2 process, I would say, of protecting your vacant house. Number 3 is using these ventilated aluminum or metal shielding companies that put shielding on the doors, on the windows, and I don't know how the technique is, but it's definitely a steel sheeting type of system. I did a video where I walked past one of the very known companies, VPS. The caveat is they are high in demand, so a lot of times their time to service your property will be back. Also, the cost is like per month, so you have to take that into accountability when you're looking to protect your vacant houses. What's your budget for it? That's a key thing too. So VPS is a good company. There's another company called No Zone where they do a, I guess you would say, a joint of boarding up and using some type of metal contraption to protect the doors and windows. So those are 2 companies you can call. I would say be proactive and reactive. If you're looking at a property and you know you probably already placed an offer and your closing may be 2 or 3 weeks ahead down the line, or the end of the month, I will call them now so you can have that scheduled, because they're probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks behind, because they have so many people calling them to protect the house, especially in Detroit. From there, if that's not in your budget, because it ranges, I'll be honest, 3 to 4 or 5, depending on how many windows and doors you have to protect. So the bigger the house, the more it costs. That's pretty much economics of anything you do in real estate, and making money and paying money. The last one I would say is getting a squatter. Not an illegal squatter. Get someone you know, or get someone that your contractor knows, or somebody that you definitely know their history, you know who they are, to come through and stay at your property. If you got electricity, utilities on, and it's livable, put somebody in there to sit and chill, lights on, sleep there, protect your house, because that's a deterrent. If someone stays there, no one's really gun-ho and breaking into the property. Pretty much all of these are deterrents to make sure they don't come to your house, primarily. So, as I say, I'll knock them down one more time. Networking, get with investors that know what they're doing, that protects houses in your area, that can give you tidbits on the best resource to use, if it's economical or not. That's why you talk to them. Number two, you can just board up the property. That's a primary tool that's used all over Detroit and outside Detroit. There are different ways you can do it. You can hire somebody. Good option, and it's very feasible, at least from my experience. Number three would be VPS and No-Zone. Those are reputable companies that protect the property, and they do it with aluminum sheeting over the property. So you can check out that and see if that would be a viable one, a little more expensive and more detailed. Number four would be get a squatter. You had to negotiate and see what that person would need and what would be viable for them. So those are the 4 keys, with a couple sub keys that you can use to protect your vacant home in Detroit. As always, if you provide feedback, I will respond. If you got any questions, let me know. As you can hear, there's a lot of people in the city that do things on their own, and you got the loud music behind me. So apologize for that. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Stay consistent and stay focused. Catch you on the next video.